did not post it? What if that is what somebody needed to hear at that point and you were like, no, I'm shy, I don't want to post that? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you are new to my channel, and kindly subscribe to my channel if you have not yet subscribed to my channel. My returning subscribers still welcome. I forgot to mention that. So it is a great privilege for me to be seated in front of you today, not in front but to be on your screen right now, to share some of the things that I've recently been learning in my work with God. Like I said recently because it is so recent, and I feel the need to share too, because it could be helpful to you, it could be helpful to anybody else apart from me. So recently I've been reading some verses of the scripture, and the Holy Spirit just keeps on hammering something to me. God has been teaching me about obedience and the cost of my disobedience. Like if I refuse to, I might not know the exact punishment it's going to give me, but it's costly to disobey him. The constant thing that I've been noticing recently is that this Spirit is actually teaching me, not even just only during my devotional, randomly, like it's currently teaching me about the cost of my disobedience if I refuse to obey. Yes, it has been of disobedience. So I'm recently learning that my disobedience can be so costly, like so costly to me, costly to people that are attached to me, people that I'm supposed to reach, and all those things. I'm saying this because I read some stories in the Bible, and I can only say thank God those people obeyed. So there was a particular story I read, the story of Ananias. He was sent to Saul by Jesus, and Ananias was like, Jesus, this man is not worthy of this. Okay, Saul was blind, and Saul already dreamt that somebody named Ananias came and healed him of his blindness. But Jesus now went to meet Ananias and told him that he should go and meet Saul. And Ananias was like, no, there's no way, like, and he did not say no like outrightly, but he meant like, this man is not worthy to be healed. Like, he has done so many bad things. And Jesus told him something that stood out for me. He told him to still go. That Saul is a chosen vessel to him, like he has chosen Saul. Ananias obeyed, went and healed Saul. And we saw the different, I read and saw the different things God did through Paul, and the different things that Paul did for God. The question that just kept on ringing in my head was, what if Ananias said, no, man's not worthy, no, I'm not going. He did not go. Most of the things that Paul did, Paul's destiny was literally tied to Ananias' things. Whether Ananias accepted it or not, Paul's destiny was tied to him. So imagine if Ananias said, no, I'm not still going. Jesus, like, I know they go. I can't just imagine what might have been of Paul. Probably he would have still been blind, or maybe God would have had mercy on him and have said, let me send another person. But he already dreamt and saw Ananias. A lot of thoughts were just in my head, and I'm just like, God, thank you that he obeyed. Thank you for the life of Paul. Thank you for the things that he did. Thank you. See the books right now. But another story that stood out for me, another story that I've come across recently, and I learned that same thing, was from the story of Abraham and Isaac. Most of the things that God did for Isaac, God did them because I noticed, from what I'm reading, God did them because he had a covenant with Abraham, which is Isaac's father. Imagine Abraham did not obey. most of those things will not have come to pass. Most of those things, God might have just not done them, maybe. So I realized that most of the things that God did, like for Isaac, was because was also tied to Abraham's obedience. Because if most of the time Abraham was like disobedient to God's instruction, most of the things he did for Isaac might have not been, because it was like Isaac's destiny too was tied to Abraham's, like somehow, because God would be like, the covenant I've had with your father, all those things, like it's referring back to the obedience of Abraham. So that was what made me to think of doing this video, that it is funny, like as I'm obeying and it's reaching out to somebody, there's this sense of fulfillment I get. So I used to ask myself that, what if you did not obey? What if you did not post it? What if that is what somebody needed to hear at that point, and you were like, no, I'm shy, I don't want to post that? Disobedience could have costed another person, or maybe somebody else would have been like praying to God for an answer, and what God told me to do, because of course Jesus knows all, could have been something that he wanted that person to see, and me, I'm there like, no, I don't want to do it because of my own unreasonable reasons, because that's just the truth. The reasons are unreasonable. As far as God has told you to, they're like, no. The Holy Spirit made me realize that God can be sending me to anybody at that particular time that I'm not ready to obey. So what becomes of the person if I do not obey him? Do you get, like, you disobey this instruction and you are costing someone else the blessing attached to what you should have done? It's just so not good. Like, there's this old guilt, special kind of feeling that comes with it, in my opinion. And we know that blessings always follow obedience. Like, there's no way you obey God and blessings don't follow you in return, because he can't just send you to do something and not have an intention to like bless you in return. Yes, so I was recently listening to a podcast and the lady was saying something. She was like, before she started doing her podcast, she was so reluctant. She's a writer, like she's a natural writer, she can write for Africa. But then she did not find it easy to be talking to people, and now God is telling her to do a podcast. She was like, this is really not convenient for her. But then you guys, listening to that podcast alone, I was so blessed. I'm like, what if this lady did not do this thing? What if she refused to like start it? What if she did not do it? What if the amount of lives that have been blessed through our podcast today, she still used to like be like, thank God she obeyed. So the thing is, you ask yourself now and be like, God, what is that thing that you have told me to do and I've disobeyed you? And I've costed a lot of people their blessings. Please have mercy on me. I would obey you. Teach me to obey you. Teach me to obey you. Like, because you're the only one that can teach me to obey you. It is not easy to obey. It is not easy to obey. Personally, like, at times, if I want to post something, if I want to do something, and it's really hard for me to do it because of my maybe personality, because I'm shy, because I feel like, why should I just used to think of something, that what if I don't post this? Somebody that wants to see this post would not see it. I've robbed the person of the blessing. I'm not trying to guilt trip you. Please know that I am not trying to guilt trip you. I'm just trying to point a whole fact to you. A lot of stories, because learning this thing, like recently, I told you that's what God has been teaching me. So I've seen a lot of scenarios like that if this person did not obey, it will have costed this other person. If this person did not do this thing, it will have costed this other person. If this person did not pass this road, if you pass the other road, you will not have met this person, and this person will not have been blessed. I don't want to be in that kind of situation where, because of me, somebody else that's supposed to be blessed is not blessed. Nah, I don't want to deal with that guilt. I don't want to deal with that feeling. And I have been begging God for the grace to continually do it. And I am also telling you that we should continually ask Him for the grace, so that we don't rob other people of their blessings. And the thing I learned is that our God-given gifts were not given to us to waste. They were given to us to bless other people. So if we don't use it, it's the same thing. If we don't use the gifts, it's the same thing like what I've been saying, that somebody else is supposed to be blessed from your gifts will remain unblessed of that particular thing because you have refused to use it. Please try to get my point and try to not misunderstand me. When the Holy Spirit started teaching me about this thing, I just used to sit down and be like, the amount of posts that I've said I'll post and I've not posted, the amount of people that said I would do this to and I did not do it to, the guilt self, like the feeling of I should have just done this thing. There's still time, I can still do them, but then maybe at that point the person needed it and I refused to. See this sense of, why did I not just do it? But then I did do it and it's gone. So I'm just trying to tell you that you might have something that God is telling you to do, and because you feel like, maybe, what would they say, what is it going to feel like how will I do that thing, like you have your own reasons and all that, and you don't post it. Somebody else might be affected because of your disobedience. I think it is quite scary to know that sometimes if you disobey, in fact most times when you disobey God's instruction, we not just disobey it for only us to bear the consequence, that the risk of another person have deprived somebody else of what they're supposed to partake of because of our disobedience. Instructed to go on a journey, and from that book of Acts, it was like, go through this place. Obviously, God knew that the person that he was sending Philip to was going to pass there. Do you get? Like, Philip was bold enough. He moved on that journey. Philip went to meet this man, a prestigious man, a very big identity. Philip was sent to that man and he preached the gospel to this man eventually, because he obeyed God. So what God is trying to tell me, what God has been trying to teach me, is that my disobedience can be so costly. My disobedience can cost somebody else. My disobedience can really affect another life that is attached to me, even without me knowing. So why not just obey me? That's what he literally told me. Like, why not just obey me and save yourself all this guilt, all this stress, all these things that come with this old disobedience? So I've come to tell you today that if you are instructed by God to do a certain thing and you feel like, God, I don't want to do this thing, I have my own reasons. He also has his reasons for telling you to do it. He has his reasons for sending you in particular. People there now, people there everywhere. Like, we are just like sent instead. But he chose you to do it. And you should do it. As difficult as it might be, he will help you to do it. And he will see us through in Jesus' name. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope I have not confused you. And I hope from now on that by the grace of God, you are going to be able to answer and obey every instruction that God brings your way. Because God might tell you to post that caption, and it is for me. And if you don't post it, I won't see it. Like, that's just the kind of like a very simple scenario to expatiate what I'm trying to say. God has sent you to somebody. God has sent me to somebody. I should not deprive the person of their blessing because of my disobedience. That's just the basic wrap up of this whole talk. So may God continually help us to obey him. May he continually teach us how to live for him, how to please him, how to obey him, because obedience is not that easy. It is not that easy. So with his grace and his strength, we are going to do it. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you have watched this far, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Kindly subscribe to my channel and share my video to anybody that you think might need this video. Thank you. God bless you. Stay blessed and stay beautiful. Till the next time I come across your screen, I remain the Toke Olajide. Bye.